Yesterday, here from the Watkins Glen International, we saw a great race where Dylan Matthews dominated today to get her second win of the season, and we saw a lot of stuff go down, including a lot of shakeups in the point standings heading into today's event, which definitely ought to be very interesting to watch develop as this race goes along, because after this race, there'll just be 2 more races left in the season. But here today, we're here for our second race here of the week here in the Haas IndyCar Series, and we are back here at the Watkins Glen International for another 15-lap race here today. And I think just like yesterday, this race ought to be a lot of fun as well, as usually the case, like I said, here for the Watkins Glen International. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to race number 18 of the 2025 Haas IndyCar Series season. It's BodyArmor Duel at the Glen Race 2. Here from the Watkins Glen International. Ooh, what's going on, everybody? Caleb here, and welcome to race number 18 here on the 2025 Haas IndyCar Series season. It's race number 2 here of the BodyArmor Duels at the Glen. Like I said, we had a great race here yesterday. Got a lot to talk about from that race. And here we are here today to run this race once again here for race number 2 in the 18th race of the season. Now, like I said, definitely a lot to go off of from yesterday's race. We saw Dylan Matthews dominate the day and go to victory lane. It was a great performance out of Dylan Matthews, and really gave her a good points boost there as well for Matthews and that 39 team for Evans Ross Racing. And we saw a lot of stuff go down during that race. We saw a good recovery from Zachary Fitzwater to get up into the top 10 and hold on to that points lead, but Braden Perez did have a good day as well, closed in quite a bit, and Tanner Parton did not quite have the day that he wanted, and a lot of other championship contenders struggled a little bit as well, but Parton particularly getting caught up in a bit of an incident with a handful of other drivers and setting him back just a little bit in points, fell back to third, 14 points behind Zachary Fitzwater. So he's definitely got a bit of a hill to climb here today if he wants to try and make that difference back up. But he has a good shot at it. He has a really good starting position here today, and we'll kind of go into that here in a minute because there's definitely a lot to talk about there. But with all that being said, it's going to be a great race here today from the Watkins Glen International. Of course, we have another 15-lap race ahead of us here today. Pit window, of course, should be around lap 10 to 11. But we'll have to see if we do see anybody elect to come down a little bit earlier this time around. Just have to wait and see how everything will play out here from Watkins Glen, and definitely expecting the race to be exciting like yesterday, but still, of course, it will definitely probably be quite different in its own right, so definitely excited to see how everything will play out here from the Watkins Glen International. But really quickly, before we get things rolling, we'll take a quick look here at your point standings coming into the 18th race of the season. Of course, like I mentioned, Zachary Fitzwater with a great recovery in the last race that managed to just barely hold on to that points lead, but Braden Perez is right on his gearbox there, second in points, only 2 points behind Zachary Fitzwater. And then coming in third, it's still Tanner Parton, who comes in 14 points behind, and honestly, it might be between these three at the moment at least, because looking further on down, Brennan Wilmington, comes into this race fourth in points, 58 points back, so lost a little bit of ground after that race at Watkins Glen. He had to, I believe, pit again under that cycle of pit stops. Really set him back. Unfortunate break there for Brennan Wilmington. And fifth in points, you have Ace Garcia, 66 points back. Sixth is John Andrews, 91 back. Seventh is Bradley Bradshaw, 94 back. Eighth is Dylan Matthews, who, like I mentioned, won the last race out yesterday at Watkins Glen. Enters 101 points back. Anthony Hernandez is the ninth, 112 back, and he's tied with Aaron Abel, who's also 112 points behind in the number 97. we'll definitely have to see how everything shakes out here after this one, because looking at the starting lineup, Zachary Fitzwater in the 52, not the best starting position there for him. And Braden Perez in the 83, just a couple cars ahead of him there. So both those guys kind of starting towards the back. Tanner Parton starting kind of up here inside the top 10. He has a good shot at making some of that difference up, maybe even all that difference up and then some. We'll just have to wait and see how things play out, though, here from Watkins Glen. Got 15 laps. Anything can happen. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out here after 15 laps here around the Watkins Glen International. But I think that's just about enough from me. I think it's about time we get these guys rolling here from the Watkins Glen International. And as they do, we'll take a quick look here through your starting lineup here for race number 2 here of the Body Armor Duels at the Glen. Starting on the pole position is the number 86 of Carson Miller. So great stuff there for him and Ronnie Racing. He's starting alongside there the 00 of Christian Vargas. Got a great run in this race yesterday. And of course, you remember he got the win at this racetrack last year. So Vargas looking for another win here at the Watkins Glen International. He's starting alongside Carson Miller there in row number 1. Row 2, we got the 75 of Justin Zidell starting alongside the 33 of Phoebe Ruiz. Row 3, it's the 63 of Logan Williams, of course, teammates of Braden Perez, starting alongside the 79, the other all-around motorsports car of John Andrews. Row 4, it's the number 13 of Duncan Ward, starting alongside the 1 of Alger Baranowskis, and rounding out your top 10, it's the 8, Tanner Parton, looking for a good run here in this one. He's starting alongside the 55 of Noah Clifton. Everybody is rolling off okay. Good. Race info, of course, will be on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. Of course, another 15-lap race ahead of us here today. These are 30 entries, of course. The pit window should be, once again, around lap 10 to 11, but to see if maybe this time around someone elects to try and do a undercut on the rest of the field. We'll have to see how things play out, but definitely looking forward to this one as well. The checkered flag flies here today. Just have 2 more races left in the season. Really getting down to the nitty-gritty here in the Haas IndyCar Series. It has been a very fun season so far up to this point, and we have had a fantastic points battle. And we're really getting down to it here. Fitzwater, Perez, and Tanner Parton all battling it out there at the top of the points standings, but we got a lot of other guys that are still waiting in the wings in case something happens. We'll have to see if something does go down here during this race. We'll see if Parton can hold on and get a good finish there in that 8 machine. We'll see if Fitzwater or Perez or anybody else can make a good recovery there from the back of the field. You've seen it time and time again. Anything can happen here in the Haas IndyCar Series, and honestly in this game here on the channel in general. We'll just have to wait and see how things play out, though, after 15 laps are said and done here from the Watkins Glen International. But here we go. Carson Miller, Christian Vargas going to lead the field here off of turn 11. Down the front straightaway into the green flag. We're racing here once again here from Watkins Glen, here in Body Armor Duel at the Glen, race number 2. A lot of movement already as the field heads up the S's. And here onto the back straightaway, Christian Vargas got a great launch in that 00, and he's already trying to pull out here with the race lead. Phoebe Ruiz is up to second. Luna Lona gets turned into the fence in the 04 down the back straightaway and is on top of the wall. That is a wreck that I've never personally seen before. Lona gets spun on top of the wall there in the 04. I don't know who it was exactly that got into the 04 of Luna Lona. That was a particularly weird crash, though, on the opening lap here from Watkins Glen. A tough break there for Luna Lona, your winner a couple weeks ago from the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Put a replay of whatever went down on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, but already some opening lap chaos here from the Watkins Glen International. Christian Vargas through turns 10 and 11, looking to lead the opening lap of the race. John Andrews in the 79, now up into the second position. Ruiz falls down to third, Miller down to fourth. Baranowskis in the 1 car is up into fifth. Got a battle for 6th going on. I believe that's a 75 of Justin Zeidel and the 55 of Noah Clifton going at it. Tanner Parton back here side by side with Duncan Ward, and now the 41 of Bruno Diacomo. And look who it is. Or no, it's not Braden Perez, excuse me. That's Logan Williams in the 63. Those are looking really similar. There's the 83 of Braden Perez. Right now, side by side with the 98 of Brennan Wilmington, with Zachary Fitzwater not too far behind. Of course, these guys are going to be getting to work here, trying to make their way here through the field. Tanner Parton in the 8th, though, falling back a little bit here early on the going, as now here comes the 39, Dylan Matthews, looking to try and find her way around. And then Logan Williams here going after it but for the race lead, John Andrews in the 79 is going to take it away here from the 00 of Christian Vargas. Vargas slips back to 2nd now, side by side for 3rd between Miller looking to make his way back up here and the 33 of Baby Ruiz. Clifton and Baranowskis also going side by side back there. A big move there out of the 79 of John Andrews. He now goes to the race lead here at Watkins Glen, and John Andrews, not talked about him too much here in a bit, comes in this race still 6th in the point standings, 91 points back. So he is a little ways back. We'll have to see if Andrews can maybe rally up a late season charge here. We'll have to see, but Andrews looking to rekindle a lot of the consistency that he had in the earlier parts of the season, where he did for a little while hold on to that points lead. Trying to pull away now here from the 00 of Christian Vargas. Carson Miller now up in the 3rd, looking to close in to Vargas for 2nd. 4th, of course, now the 33 of Ruiz. 5th is Audrey Baranowskis. 6th is Clifton. 7th is Duncan Ward. Got past the 75 of Justin Zeidel. 8th is his 41 of Diacomo, and Tanner Parton currently rounds out your top 10. Right outside the top 10 and 11th, you got Anthony Hernandez, and you got Logan Williams going side by side here with the 39 of Dylan Matthews. Brad Stover side by side with the 40 of Angel Olvera behind them, and now Olvera's looking to send it down the inside here of the 63 of Logan Williams, maybe looking to even get a twofer here, as Dylan Matthews slips a little bit wide there as they head through the toe, down the boot here and into the heel. Olvera's still going to stay side by side, though, with the 63 of Logan Williams. Taking a look back here, Perez has cleared the 98 of Brennan Wilmington, now trying to set his sights here on the 23 of Jane Knapp. Zachary Fitzwater back here side by side with the 07 of Bradley Bradshaw. He's going to clear Bradshaw, though, here going into turns 10 and 11 here. Fitzwater trying to do everything he can here in the early stage of this race. Almost got 3 wide. We are going to have 3 wide here going into turn 1 between Williams, Matthews, and Angel Olvera. Didn't quite work out there for Matthews, and really didn't work out for Olvera. They're going to lose quite a few spots here. But back up front, John Andrews looking to pull away with this race lead. Has almost a 6/10 gap back to the 00 of Christian Vargas. Carson Miller in 3rd, now trying to fend off this 33 Baby Ruiz. Now looking to take that final podium position back away. Baranowskis all over the gearbox of Noah Clifton, trying to fend off this 13 of Duncan Ward. Justin Zeidel trying to fend off this 41 of Bruno Diacomo, and now Tanner Parton looks to maybe be falling into the clutches here of the 88 of Anthony Hernandez there for that final spot here in the top 10. Well, Max Anderson, the 99, might have had a bit of an issue there. He, I believe, came down the pit lane. So we'll have to see if maybe something happened to the 99 to Max Anderson. If something in particular did happen, I'll put a replay on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. But there goes the 04 Luna Lona back out on the racetrack after getting the car towed back to the pit lane and probably getting everything repaired really wide there through turn 11 was the 97 of Angel Gutierrez. We got another car in the pit lane. That's, I believe, the 81 of Brad Stover coming in. Potential issue for that 81 machine. Don't quite know what it is, but a tough break there for Brad Stover, who is having a decent run so far here in this one, at least from what I could tell. I think he was running like right outside of the top 10. Tough break there for him, but still on to lap number 5 here from Watkins Glen. John Andrews continuing to try and pull away with this race lead. Now has just about over a second to the 00 Christian Vargas. Continuing to close in is that 86 of Carson Miller. Ruiz now under fire here for fourth from the 55 of Noah Clifton, who's going to peek down to the inside here going through the toe. Bruno Giacomo now side by side with the 88 of Anthony Hernandez. Tanner Parton in the 8 up into the 9th position now. Those guys battle behind him for that final spot in the top 10. These two remain side by side as we head here back. As we head in here into turns 10 and 11. Clifton going to send it a little bit wide. Going to try to get the advantage here into turn 11. Robert has to check up a little bit, but Ruiz goes really wide. Here comes the 1 of Aja Baranowski's looking to potentially take advantage here. They're going to maybe split the middle. Got another car into the pit lane. Back here, that is the 41, Bruno Giacomo. Coming into the pits there from probably either the 10th or 11th position. He was battling it out there with the 88 of Anthony Hernandez. Don't know what happened to the 41 of Giacomo, but I think they should be able to make it to the end from here. It is a very early pit stop, but of course pit window is about 10 to 11 laps. So I don't know if something went wrong with the 41 or if this is just a really bold strategy call from that team. I don't know. We'll have to see how things work out there for that 41, but Giacomo coming to the pits here on lap number 6. Of course, Brad Stover came in the lap before in that 81. And Max Anderson, the 99, is back down the pit lane, I believe, once again. BB Ruiz in the 33 now going at it with the 1 of Aja Baranowskis. Baranowskis is going to clear going through turn 10. Noah Clifton, who was battling that 55 of Ruiz, falling back a little bit, now down to the 7th position in that 55. Now under fire here from the 75 of Justin Zidell. Tanner Parton still under fire here from the 88 of Anthony Hernandez. But Hernandez has a solid gap built up to the 11th place car, which right now is the 39 of Dylan Matthews. You got Logan Williams, Nicholas Samadillo, Chris Reynolds, and Angel Olvera right now your top 15. There's the 83 of Braden Perez, currently running in the 20th position. A couple cars back there in 22nd is the 52 of Zachary Fitzwater. And Brennan Wilmington in the 98 is down the pit lane as well. Wilmington gonna pretty much about try and split this race in half. Again, I don't know if this is an issue or a strategy call. Not quite sure, but a bold strategy call, and we'll have to see if it pays off. There's a 99 of Max Anderson, who just came out from his second pit stop, I believe, of the race. Now going a lap down is that 99, and he's right behind our third place car, the 86 of Carson Miller, who is right now trying to close in here to this 00 of Christian Vargas there for the second position. And Anderson back down the pit lane once again in that 99. Something might be amiss on that Webb Racing Enterprises machine. Tough break there for Max Anderson and Webb Racing Enterprises. John Andrews in the 79 has now almost built up a 2-second lead to the 00 of Christian Vargas. Carson Miller still here in the third position, about 2.5 seconds back from our race leader, and trying to close in to Christian Vargas there for that second position. Aja Baranowskis right now running in fourth. A solid day for that one machine. BB Ruiz running in 5th right now. Duncan Ward 6th. A great run today comparing to what happened yesterday here for this 13 machine of Duncan Ward. 75 of Justin Zidell with a good run there in the 7th position now as he got by the 55 of Noah Clifton. And same that was said about Duncan Ward can be said about Clifton too. A great run today. What the 55 needed after getting involved in an incident in the last race out here at Watkins Glen. Tanner Parton still running in 9th. This is definitely what the 8 machine needs. Comparing to Perez and Fitzwater kind of struggling back towards the midfield to the back of the pack. Whereas in the 83, still running in the 20th position, trying to fend off the 27 of Ace Garcia. Of course, with the 52 of Zachary Fitzwater, a couple cars behind him. But on to lap number 9 here from Watkins Glen, now 2.6 is the gap now back to Carson Miller, who got past the 00 of Christian Vargas there for the second position. So we'll have to see what kind of laps this 86 can put down now that they're up here into the second position. As it fell back a little bit on the start of the race, but has made all that ground back up and is looking fast here in that Durrani Racing Ford. So we'll have to see what Miller can do here before and after the cycle of pit stops. To the field here, there's a lot of the guys that came down the pit lane for one reason or another. Max Anderson in the 99, now a lap down. Got Bruno Diacomo there in the 41. Brad Stover in the 81, Brendan Wilmington in the 98. And there's the 04 Luna Lona, who of course got involved in that opening lap calamity. Got stuck on the guardrail. Besides maybe a couple of pit lane shenanigans, it's been a pretty calm race ever since the opening lap here from Watkins Glen, and it's been really calm up front here for the 79 of John Andrews, who currently leads the way still here from Watkins Glen. Coming to lap number 10 here is the 79 of Andrews, but Miller now up in the second. We'll have to see what this 86 can maybe do. Oh, he closed in quite a bit that last time by. So Miller definitely looking sporty here from Watkins Glen. Have to see how much he can close in here before the cycle of pit stops. And that 86 looking for a good pit stop here once the cycle does happen, because Vargas was honestly kind of in the same position last time out, but when that cycle of pit stops did not have the quickest of stops and lost some time to Dylan Matthews, and Matthews honestly kind of just really turned on the jets in the last couple of laps and was able to pull away quite substantially from the 00 Christian Vargas. So Miller looking for a good stop here to potentially maybe close in a little bit here to the 79 of John Andrews, because I think that 86 machine might definitely have something up their sleeves there, but Christian Vargas trying to hold with him here in that 00, looking for potentially an opportunity as well. A lot of battling going on back here. Avery Alford, Angel Gutierrez, Chris Reynolds, Jay Knapp, Thomas Troxel all kind of locked in here in this battle. A good run going for Angel Gutierrez. Started on the last row of the grid, and last time around was up into 18th, but I think has probably made some passes since then. So battling around here in the top 15, so a great run going for Angel Gutierrez there in that 49. But here we go on lap number 10. John Andrews is going to come in, Miller stays out, and Vargas is going to come in. So some split strategy here as Andrews comes in, Miller's going to stay out, so is Byron Nauskas, Duncan Ward, Justin Zidell, Noah Clifton, and Tanner Parton. And Hernandez, all those guys going to stay out here from inside of the top 10. Sabadio and Olvera going at it after staying out here as well. A couple of cars, though, coming in here on lap number 10. Dylan Matthews, John Andrews, Logan Williams, P.P. Ruiz, and Christian Vargas. I'm going to elect to come in. There goes the 79 of John Andrews. There goes the 00 of Christian Vargas. Come some of the guys that have already made pit stops. There's the 99 of Max Anderson, going to be going side by side with the 79 of John Andrews. There's the 41 of Bruno Diacomo. Unsure if some of these guys can make it to the end or not, but if they can, they could work out pretty well for them. It's Diacomo right now, right behind the 79 of John Andrews. I know that we'll have to see how everything ends up shaking out, but coming through turns 10 and 11 here is the 86, excuse me, of Carson Miller. He's going to be coming in this time around. Andre Baranowski's going to follow suit, Duncan Ward, and I think, pit lane is going to be a very busy place here on lap 11. I assume everybody will be coming in here this time around. And it does indeed look like that's going to be the case. Bruno Diacomo on the 41 actually has gotten around the 75 of John Andrews. Also got the 81 of Brad Stover up here, of course, teammate to the 00 of Christian Vargas. Brady Wilmington, the 98. Now, this is definitely going to be one that's interesting to watch, because I'm pretty sure Wilmington pitted on lap number 7. So he could pretty much about split this race in half, so I wouldn't be surprised if Wilmington could actually potentially make it to the end. Here comes all these guys out of the pit lane. There's the 86 of Carson Miller. There goes the 79 of John Andrews. Here comes the 33 of Baby Ruiz, side by side out of the pit lane with the 1 of Arja Baranauskas. There's Christian Vargas, Brad Stover. Tanner Parton in the 8 did not have the quickest stop. He lost a little bit of ground there under that pit cycle. Now behind this 25 of Thomas Troxel. There's the 52 of Zachary Fitzwater. Braden Perez didn't have the quickest stop either. He lost time there in that 83 to the 52 of Fitzwater in particular. Looks like pit cycles have come and gone here from Watkins Glen, and I believe where everybody runs right now, Bruno Diacomo right now is the race leader, but can they make it to the end? We'll have to see, and of course they are on older tires regardless of the fact, so I wouldn't doubt the 79 might start closing in here in just a couple laps time here to that 41 of Giacomo. Brett Stoker, excuse me, in the 81 also up here. Brendan Wilmington in the 98. If he can stay out here on this racetrack, this might turn into a really much needed run for that NS Racing number 98. Tanner Parton there in the 8. He's gotten back around the 25 of Thomas Troxel, who goes wide there through turn 11. Luckily, though, keeps it off of the wall. But yeah, everything has cycled out here from Watkins Glen. And Bruno Diacomo in the 41 right now holds on to the race lead. If Diacomo can make it to the end, this will be huge for Diacomo and Trackhouse Racing if he were to pull this off. Definitely a strategy a bit out of left field, but hey, if it works, it works. Like I said, bold strategy got. We'll just have to wait and see if it pays off, and right now it is paying off for the 41 of Giacomo, but of course the looming question is, can they make it to the end? And I guess also, can they fend off the 79 of John Andrews, because he is closing in to this 41 of Bruno Diacomo. But of course, Andrews is on fresher tires. Have to wait and see, though. Diacomo probably going to be fending for their life here in this race lead, looking to try and bring this home. Some crazy tire strategy here in the second race here from the Body Armor Duels at the Glen, and Bruno Diacomo on much older tires trying to fend off this 79 of John Andrews. 2 to go here from Watkins Glen. Ruiz in third trying to fend off this 00 of Christian Vargas. And John Andrews is all over the gearbox of the 41 of Bruno Diacomo. Just trying to look for a way around as they head down the back straightaway. Vargas trying to peek to the right-hand side of the 33 Ruiz. Brad Stover here under fire from the 1 of Arja Baranauskas. And back here, Tanner Parton in the 8 in the 15th position. Wilmington ahead of him there in the 98, trying to hold on to 12th as Matthews sends it to the inside here of the 13 of Duncan Ward. Up front, Bruno Diacomo still trying to fend off this 79 of Andrews, but leaves the inside open as they head through the toe. But manages to roll the outside, gets a decent run there off of turn 7 and down here into turn number 8. Andrews just looking for any space that he can get. Bruno Diacomo doing a great job right now at defending. Andrews trying to do everything he can to find a way around this 41. Of course, it's one thing to catch somebody, it's a whole different ballpark to pass them. And Bruno Diacomo trying to do everything in their power to keep this 79 at bay, but they can't make it. They're down the pit lane. And another car in the pits, that's Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzy in the 52 has an issue and is down the pit lane. The white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go here from Watkins Glen. John Andrews looking to bring it home in the number 79. Ruiz now up to second. Vargas up to third. Don't know if maybe anybody else had to come down. Brad Stover in the 81 had to come down. Brennan Wilmington, though, in the 98. Still out here on the racetrack now, running in 11th, right behind the 13 of Duncan Ward. Maybe even looking for 10th here on the 13 award. He's going to try and dive it to the inside here in the carousel. Can't quite get it done. But Wilmington looking to hold on to a good finish here from Watkins Glen. But out front, it's John Andrews. But here comes the 33 of BB Ruiz with a full head of steam. As we head down the boot here for the final time, that 33 is closing fast. Might have one shot if they can get close enough here into turns 10 and 11, but I don't know if they'll get there here. Through turn 9, heading into turns 10 and 11 here for the final time. John Andrews is going to return to victory lane here in the 2025 Haas IndyCar Series season. John Andrews wins race number 2 here at the Body Armor Duels at the Glen. BB Ruiz got really close there at the end. Gave it the roll. Going to come home in second. Christian Vargas is going to come home in third. Carson Miller's fourth. Fifth is Audra Baranowskis. Sixth is Zidell. Seventh is Logan Williams. Eighth is Matthews. Ninth is Ward. Brennan Wilmington in the 98. With a bit of an unorthodox strategy call. Going to come home in 10th. A great run for that 98, and what Wilmington needed if he wants to have a shot here to stay in this championship battle. Tanner Parton in the 8's going to come home in 13th. Braden Perez in the 83, not the best of runs today, comes home in 23rd, and no idea what happened to Fitzy, if he got into some kind of issue or what, but he comes home in 29th. But what a crazy race here from the Watkins Glen International. And at the end, it's John Andrews who's going to go to victory lane once again. And that's 79 for Otter Island Motorsports. Like I said, came into this race 91 points back, and considering where everybody finished, could definitely make up quite a bit here in the point standings. We'll have to see exactly where that puts them, but still a great run for that 79 of John Andrews, and what a win for him there and Otter Island Motorsports. Again, just what a race here from Watkins Glen. We saw a lot of great battles here on the racetrack, and it all came down to some very interesting strategy, which unfortunately, Bruno Giacomo just couldn't make it to the end. An unfortunate break there for Giacomo and Trackhouse Racing, but definitely got to give him a call there. Did a great job defending against the 79 of John Andrews, almost to the point where BB Ruiz closed in there for that race lead. And maybe if Ruiz had one more lap, I think they might even got the 79 of John Andrews for that race lead, because that 33 was on rails there during that run. And so was Christian Vargas, who was also that within a second there at the end when everything is said and done. But still, just what a race here from Watkins Glen. One win there out of the 79 of John Andrews. But taking a look here through your official results, John Andrews goes to victory lane here from Watkins Glen for race number 2 here, the Body Armor Duels at the Glen. BB Ruiz comes home in second. A great performance there out of Ruiz and Dutch Atlantis Racing. Christian Vargas comes home in third. Might have to start calling Christian Vargas the Watkins Glen King at this point, because he has been on a roll here at this racetrack here in the past couple of years. Carson Miller comes home in the 4th position. A good result there for our pole sitter here for this one. Audra Baranowskis comes home in 5th. Zidell's going to bring it home in 6th. Logan Williams is going to come home in 7th. Dylan Matthews, your winner of race 1, comes home in 8th. Duncan Ward 9th, and Brennan Wilmington. Like I said, a bit of an unorthodox strategy there, but it paid off for him. He comes home here with a top 10 finish in the number 98. And like I said, Tanner Parton going to bring it home 13th. Braden Perez 23rd. Zachary Fitzwater 29th. Not the run that Perez or Fitzy needed. We'll have to see how things shake out in points after this one. Definitely going to be intriguing to see. I think Parton might take the points lead back. We'll have to see, but still, regardless of the fact, a crazy race here from Watkins Glen. And an interesting setup here for our final 2 races of the season here in the 2025 Haas IndyCar Series season. With the results shown today, this could definitely open up some more doors for some more guys to potentially enter this championship battle. But still, we'll just have to wait and see how everything shakes out here after this one. But what a race here from Watkins Glen, of course. Like I said, this track usually always delivers, and today was absolutely no exception to that. But yeah, just got 2 more races left to go now here in the Haas IndyCar Series season. And the next race out, it's going to be the penultimate race, the Smithfield, Virginia 100K from the Richmond International Raceway. That race was absolutely nuts last year. We see the same thing this year. We'll just have to wait and see how it all goes down. Now host of the penultimate race of the season as well. That race used to be earlier on, so we'll have to see how that really shapes things up. There'll definitely be an exciting race there from the Richmond International Raceway, and that'll be going up next Friday, August the 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, so make sure to keep an eye out for that one. Should be a lot of fun. And of course, after that, we just got the season finale, the Haas World Championship 200K from Pocono, I believe the week after that, so that should be crazy as well. Really getting down to it, like I said, here in the Haas IndyCar Series. It's been a fun season, and it's still not quite over yet. Still got 2 more great races before everything is said and done. But with all that being said, thank you all so much once again for tuning in here to race number 2 of the Body Armor Duels once again. Congratulations to the number 79 at John Andrews and Otteron Motorsports for winning. And I will see you all for the Smithfield, Virginia 100K at the Richmond Raceway coming up next Friday, August 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But until then, you all take care and have a good one. Here is your point standings after race number 18 on the season.